su trabajo. Por eso los votantes los eligieron, para que hicieran algo por las personas como nosotros. Queremos ciudadanía. Ahora, les quiero pedir un aplauso por el gran honor que tengo de introducir a nuestro representante y amigo de Chirla y de todos los indocumentados.
On television, marching, not giving up the fight, you inspire me. You inspire me to keep America as the greatest country in the world. Immigration reform is not about immigrants, it's about America. Look around you. We're all immigrants to this great nation. And America stands for justice, democracy, and justice demands a pathway to citizenship. A pathway to citizenship. This young lady before me talked about her DACA children. I'm from Orange County, California, Republican Orange County, now the Ellis Island of the United States. The first casualty of war in Iraq from Orange County was a dreamer who made the ultimate sacrifice. Many other dreamers are fighting for our country around the world, and we have veterans that have been deported as well. People, soldiers that have fought for this country, then they come back and we say, there's no room for you in the United States. That is not justice. That is not America. And we are here to demand justice, a pathway to citizenship. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! Tenemos 35 años peleando esta batalla por justicia. No queremos amnistía porque no hemos hecho nada contra la ley. Queremos que se nos dé lo que hemos ganado. Es la posibilidad de ciudadanía para nuestros hijos. ¡Sí se puede! Let us not go back. We will not be denied. Thank you very much.
Hannah first, and then Garcia. Okay? So Hannah,
Okay, my folks. Thank you so much to Maria and also to the members of Congress who are speaking today. Maria, thank you so much for sharing your powerful testimony, for telling us about your 5 children who have DACA. And what you said is right. We are tired of temporary solutions. We want a permanent solution for all of us and have a pathway to citizenship. That's what we deserve, and that's what our community deserves. Now, I would like to welcome Joaquin Yu from the Hannah Center. Joaquin, please welcome. Yep. I hope I didn't butcher you.
Hello, my name is Huang Chan Yu, and I'm with Chicago's Hannah Center and with you all because we're fighting for a pathway to citizenship and nothing less. That means we're fighting for citizenship through registry by disregarding the parliamentarian, not for some whack temporary status like parole. I was born in South Korea and moved to the United States when I was 6 years old. There was a moment when the feeling of what it means to be undocumented sunk in. My grandfather from my mother's side passed away when I was in high school, and my family was completely shaken up. When we came to the United States, my mother and I did not have citizenship. When my grandfather passed away, my mother was lost in her thoughts and blamed herself for not being able to see her father's funeral when it was this country's arbitrary, inhumane immigration system that stopped her. As she was experiencing all of this, she forced herself to go to work because we had no access for support. As I grew up seeing all of this, I learned to fear that I might find myself in the same situation as my mother, worrying about what would happen if my father, who lives in Korea, were to pass away while I did not have status. What it means to have citizenship is more than just protection, and it is a step closer to feeling human, to be able to grieve, to be in the company of loved ones, to move about freely. I know that my family's experience is a common one in our undocumented community, and it's one of the reasons why we're here to fight for citizenship and not for a temporary status. Our lives don't work off of a timer, and what do members of Congress expect us to do when the status becomes ineffective? Self-deport ourselves? There's members of Congress who have the audacity to call themselves champions of immigrants while pushing for a little cut of humanity. There's members of Congress who talk about the political process as if the political process in general is democratic in the first place when we have things like filibustering and corporate lobbying. So what is the political process? Why is it so worth keeping and fighting for? In this rare moment, we can use the process to take a step forward for the needs of people. We need our whole humanity, we need our full lives, and that means fighting for citizenship through registry, and that means disregarding the parliamentarian. Immigrants are essential, and we make this country exist in the first place. We ain't here for parole, and we aren't compromising our lives, and that's the bottom line. Can we please have Representative Chuy Garcia come up, please?
Thank you, Juan Cheng, and to everyone who has assembled here today to make our last plea to the U.S. Senate to do the right thing. Yeah. Two weeks ago, the House sent over the Build Back Better bill with some relief for some immigrants. This is not what we have been fighting for over 3 decades across this country. The cry has been for immigration reform for as many people as possible, and today we have 11 million people on our minds and in our hearts as we assemble here. Let us recall that what's in the bill right now was the most that we could get out of the House, in part because there were many more conservative Democrats who were afraid, for good reason, that if we passed a pathway to citizenship, that the Senate would do what it's done twice when we passed immigration reform out of the House, the Dream and Promise Act and the Farm Labor Modernization Act. That's what they were concerned about. If the Senate disregards the decision of an advisor, the parliamentarian, it can substitute immigration reform with a pathway to citizenship. And that is what 90 members of Congress 2 weeks ago sent a letter to Leader Schumer and the Senate to remind them that if they can strengthen the bill in the Senate with a pathway to citizenship, that many of the 90 who signed that letter were moderate or more conservative Democrats. In other words, if the Senate can do the right thing, we believe that we will stand with them in the House and pass immigration reform with a path forward. So that is why we are here today. I'm glad to join my colleagues here, and most importantly, I'm glad to join people like Juan Cheng and everyone else fighting for immigration reform. Thank you for being here. Muy buenas tardes a toda la gente que nos acompaña hoy en nuestra última petición al Senado para decirle que pueden fortalecer el proyecto de reconstruir mejor, incluyendo una vía hacia la ciudadanía para asegurar que haya reforma migratoria con justicia a través de una vía para la ciudadanía. Es lo que nuestros movimientos por más de 3 décadas han exigido. Es lo correcto, es la justicia, y por eso ahora le pedimos al líder Schumer y al Senado que haga lo correcto, que haya justicia para los inmigrantes. Gracias.
That's right. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much. In order for us to continue with the program, I would like to introduce the next speaker. It is now my pleasure to introduce a former and undocumented immigrant who's now representing New York and Washington, D.C. Please help me welcome Representative Adriano Espaillat.
Thank you all for being here. We are here because of your work. We are here because of your sacrifice. We are here because of your tireless efforts to make sure that after 35 long years, we put immigration reform in the forefront of the agenda. For far too long, we have been loyal soldiers of our party. When they called us on the environment, we were here. When they called us on the rights of women, we were here. When they called us for criminal justice reform, we were diligently here. When the economy was going back and they called us to sacrifice, we stood up tight and we were here. And for 35 long years, we've been ignored on immigration reform. So we are here today at a critical junction in American history to tell the U.S. Senate that immigration reform finally, after 35 long years, must be passed. And that it must include a pathway to citizenship. We cannot parcel away the rights of people. We cannot tell a mom, you can stay, but your child stays behind. We cannot tell a TPS recipient, you can stay, but the farm worker stays behind. We cannot tell a dreamer, you can stay, but the men that are working in the fields to bring food to our tables have to stay behind. All of us must stay, and we must have a path to citizenship. And so the parliamentarian is an unelected advisor of the Senate. She could be reversed. We must make sure that the Senate hears us loud and clear, that if her ruling is adversarial to us, that we must move forward and challenge her ruling and make sure we take this vote on the floor. Let the votes fall where they may. History will take note of it. Let them fall where they may, but all of you who during the pandemic delivered the food to our doorsteps, picked the crops in our field, took care of our frail and elderly parents, make sure you drove us around to where we needed to go. Those of you that worked as cashiers in the supermarkets, exposing yourself to the virus. Those of you that were out there when it really counted for America and our family, you deserve to have citizenship now. You deserve it now. Estamos aquí en un momento crítico de nuestra historia. Después de 35 largos años de espera, finalmente esperamos que el debate se dé en el Senado y que le ofrezca a cada uno de ustedes, a sus padres, a sus abuelos, a sus vecinos, a sus familiares, le ofrezcan el derecho a tener la tranquilidad de poder vivir sin el temor de que van a ser arrestados, deportados, lejos de sus familias. Ustedes merecen el sueño americano, ustedes merecen un camino hacia la ciudadanía. Y la parlamentaria es una oficial, la parlamentaria es una oficial no electa del Senado, que podemos obviar su decisión y que los senadores tomen los votos en el piso del Senado. Le damos las gracias a cada uno de ustedes. Es por las inspiraciones de ustedes que estamos aquí, por el trabajo y el sacrificio de ustedes durante la pandemia, que pusieron su propia vida en riesgo a favor de todos nosotros. El futuro dirá si en este momento América se levantó y hizo lo correcto, lo que debe de ser, y es darle el sueño americano a todos ustedes y un camino hacia la ciudadanía. Que Dios lo bendiga a todos.
Thank you, Representative Espaillat. Thank you to all the members of Congress who are here today. I think, like, you know, after... Thank you, compas. So I was just thanking Representative Espaillat for his support and all the members of Congress who are here today. Listen, after this, I'm going to be the cool mom in town because I'm surrounded with great allies here. But I could be the coolest mom in town if you all help me pass immigration reform so I can stay with my kids here permanently. Now, I would like to introduce Jasmine Sarda with ICER. Jasmine, welcome.
Gracias. ¿Me escuchan? ¿Me escuchan? ¿Dónde me pongo? ¿Aquí? Ok. La energía que se siente en este lugar es increíble. Les mando un abrazo a todos y les regreso esa energía positiva. Gracias a todos por estar aquí. The energy that I feel is amazing, it's incredible, it's taking over me. So thank you. Thank you to Congressman Chuy Garcia and everyone present here. Thank you for working hard to fulfill the promises and be able to accomplish citizenship for all. Thank you for your hard work. My name is Jasmine Cerda. I am an organizer with Brighton Park Neighborhood Council and a member of ICER. I serve and support the southwest side of Chicago. Brighton Park is located in the heart of Representative Chuy Garcia's district and has one of the biggest concentrations of immigrants of all statuses in the country. Many families in Brighton Park come from mixed statuses, just like mine. Today, I come before you as a mother, a daughter, a friend, but a very, very proud immigrant. With the holidays around the corner, all of you with your Santa hats have the holiday spirit, right? Well, I've been thinking about the first Christmas that I ever spent in the United States. And that was about 20 years ago. I remember going with my mom to Dunkin' Donuts to be able to call my grandparents back in Mexico using a payphone because we couldn't afford a landline. And I remember calling my grandparents, and saying Feliz Navidad over the phone. I couldn't hug them. I couldn't be with them. The only place that I ever knew as home was miles and miles away. While my mom and I were here alone with no family to spend Christmas with. I remember crying while my grandma said how much she missed me. But one thing that I'll never forget was that un día nos vamos a volver a ver. One day we will see each other again. My mom was a single mom who worked 2 jobs. We didn't have somewhere stable to live, so we jumped from family member's house to family member's house. And whenever she will buy me a meal, she will eat whatever I left on the plate because we couldn't afford another meal. She made the decision, just like many of us here, to come to the United States for a better life, for a better future. And thanks to that decision, I stand here before you, speaking a language that I learned at 7 years old. Remembering my story makes me think of all of your stories. And my heart goes out to you if you ever had to make that decision to come and leave what you knew as home to have a new home, to have a better home. I'm sorry. If you are able to go back home for Christmas to your family, you are privileged, you are gifted. Millions of immigrants, DACA recipients, and refugees aren't able to hug their loved ones this holiday season because they are separated by our broken immigration system. The prospect of parole does not give us the sense of relief. A temporary program that will end without guarantees that millions of people's data won't end up in the hands of the next Stephen Miller does not ease our fear. We can do this. Democrats can do this. Senate leadership can do this. My Senator, Dick Durbin, can lead in these efforts. Democrats must keep their promises and deliver a path to citizenship now. That is why many of us, including 6 leaders from Chicago, flew from Chicago to put their bodies on the line through civil disobedience a short while ago, just across the street from here. Enough is enough! No more broken promises. Thanks to the efforts of organization leaders just like all of you here, thanks to leaders, to community support, I was fortunate enough to become a citizen 2 years ago. But I would have not been able to do it without you. I wouldn't have. I became a citizen 2 years ago in the middle of the worst anti-immigrant administration we've ever seen. Citizenship is what we deserve. It's what we were promised. And it is what we expect to receive. No less than that. No less. And if we don't get it, we shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Thank you.
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, Hwang Chan and Jasmine, for your powerful and emotional testimonies. For all the immigrants out there that are suffering and feel like they do not belong in this country, we are all with you today. All of us. My name is Woo Jung Diana Park, and I am an immigrant justice organizer at Mingwan Center for Community Action, located in Flushing, New York. Like Eliana, my lovely co-host, right here, I am a DACA recipient as well, who came to this country at the age of 1, seeking a stability with my loved ones. I am tired, so tired of living in 2-year increments. This is the year to win. We can do it. Harsuita, si se puede. All the languages, we can do it. An unelected attorney has been making decisions regarding the immigration proposals presented to me. Time and time again, shutting down the hopes and aspirations of those who have contributed so much to the country's economy. We are not an exploitable market. That's right. I would now like to introduce and please give a warm welcome to a great movement ally, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez!
estamos aquí presente porque ahora, este momento es nuestro momento, ¿ok? Nuestro momento. This is our moment. We're here because this is our moment, not any other moment. Not later, no rain checks, not in the past, not sometime in the future. Ahora. Ahora. Right now. This is our moment. Chuy laid down the path earlier today, but just a few minutes ago. I'm talking earlier today, like breakfast. Because we do have a possibility. Tenemos la posibilidad, tenemos la ventana de oportunidad ahora mismo. Y no dejen nadie a decir que no es posible, que no tenemos la poder, que no tenemos la oportunidad, porque la oportunidad es aquí ahora. No ha pasado. Don't let anyone tell you that the moment is gone, that the possibility has gone away, that the opportunity is not here, because that is not true. We have that opportunity right now. Right now, and that opportunity is standing right there on the Senate side. We're sitting and we are standing right in front of that opportunity. Estamos aquí sentando y parando enfrente de esa oportunidad, porque es ahí ahora en el Senado. We have the opportunity right now in the Senate. And what we need to say right now is the moment to say that we will no longer accept a reality, a society. We will no longer accept being a country that will take people's labor and accepts people's labor but doesn't accept their humanity and dignity. ¿Ok? Porque no queremos aceptar y no vamos a aceptar una sociedad que acepta nuestro trabajo pero no acepta nuestra humanidad y dignidad. We just lived through almost 2 years now of a pandemic that where our country relied on undocumented people to survive, okay? We're gonna put it down really simple. Because who else was sanitizing our buildings? Who else was caring for our elders? Who else was harvesting our food? Who else was stocking our shelves except immigrant labor in the United States of America? We will not be a country that says we will take that and yes, exploit that and not accept the basic humanity, dignity, and equality of all people in this country, particularly our immigrant families and communities. No vamos a aceptar eso. No vamos a aceptar eso. And we are not disposable. We are not disposable. That's what we're here to say. Que no somos perdón. It's a tongue twister for me, perdón. But we're not going to accept that because it is contrary to who we are, who we want to be. And if we are actually going to be who we say we are, we need to allow a path to citizenship for millions of people in this country. Ahora es el momento. Ahora es el momento. We're done with excuses. We're not here to tell people what we're going to do. Democrats have a trifecta. We have the House, we have the Senate, we have the presidency. And if we want to do it, we will. We must. We must. We must. Now is our moment. Now is the time to use power. And the reason we're going to do it is because of all of you. If you all weren't here, the possibility would be so much slimmer. But the fact of your presence and your pressure, we have an opportunity to make this happen. So as Chuy said, this is the plan, okay? Porque ese es el plan. Ese es el plan. The initial version of the Build Back Better Act has passed the House. That act has the small parole version, which we don't want to accept. But here's the score. There are folks, because the Senate has been aquí, allá, because they've been here and there, they don't want to take this huge risk of sending it out when the Senate has been acting the way that it is. So where we are at is that the Senate needs to step up, override the parliamentarian, okay? The parliamentarian is not elected. It is not an elected position. And the parliamentarian has been overridden and dismissed in the past. We will not surrender our power to an unelected parliamentarian. We need to use our power to help the people. And so the Senate Our demand is for the Senate to override the parliamentarian, include a full path to citizenship, and send it back to the House. And we believe that if we send it, and we believe, ahora! And so we believe that if they send it back, we can get it to pass the House, because after we passed it in the House, we led a letter, Chuy Garcia, Representative Correa, Espaillat, all of our friends over here. We led a letter. I led a letter, and 101 House Democrats signed on saying, you send this back, we're going to get a path to citizenship through the House. So we need to get it done, and with that, I'll hand it back to you all. Pero ahora, ¿cuál es el momento? When is the moment? Thank you.
Aquí estamos. Aquí estamos. Y si nos echan.
Thank you, Representative Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, for your commitment to our communities. Our next speaker is Representative Dina Titus from Nevada.
Muchísimas gracias. Lo siento, no hablo español muy bien. Un poquito, nada más. Ojalá que mejore. Welcome to Washington. Thank all of you so much for making the sacrifice to be here and send a message to the Senate. Say it loud, path to citizenship. Keep your promise. Somos esenciales. We want them to hear it. We want them to know we are out here. So thank you for making that sacrifice and coming. You know, I represent Las Vegas. Nevada has the highest, make the road Nevada is in the house. We have the highest per capita number of undocumented people of all the states in the country. My district of Las Vegas has the highest number of immigrants and people who don't speak English as their first language of any in the state. And we know how important immigration reform is. Many mixed families, mixed status families, dreamers, TPS holders, undocumented, people who don't know what they are, and it doesn't really matter. They are our family, they are our friends and our neighbors. And one of those neighbors is here with me today. I'm so proud of her, so proud of the work that she does, and so honored to know her. Aurelie Sanchez. She is known in Carson City. She is known in Las Vegas. She has been on the front lines, and now she's here to help us make this case to the Senate. Say it loud, Aurelie. We know you're here.
Yes, thank you. Estoy muy agradecida con nuestra congresista Dina Titus. Mi corazón con ella siempre, porque es una gran luchadora, porque es una pionera de nuestra comunidad y apoya al 100 a nuestra gente. ¿Por qué hablo en español? Why you speak in Spanish? Because now we need respect and dignity. We need recuperar respect and dignity. Thank you, Congressman. Soy Aurelie Sánchez, soy de Las Vegas, Nevada, miembro líder de Make a Road. Yo emigré en el 93 y déjenme decirle, mi gente, que yo no emigré por hambre, no emigré por un sueño americano, emigré porque era la tercera vez que trataban de secuestrarme en mi estado de Michoacán. Busqué protección, como todos ustedes aquí. Al tiempo soy madre. En el 2001 apliqué por la 245I. Fue otra ley que nos dejaron truncada por la razón de que viniera el ataque a las Torres Gemelas. Y creo que no es justo que como nuestros hermanos Dreamers, como sus hermanos tepecianos, hasta el día de hoy no tenemos una respuesta. Hasta el día de hoy vivimos una incertidumbre en nuestras casas. Y quiero recordarle a nuestra senadora Catherine Cortés Masto que estamos unidos, que creemos y confiamos todavía en ella, que ella nos va a apoyar y ella va a dar su brazo fuerte para Nevada. Gracias a cada uno de ustedes por estar aquí. También no creo que es justo que aunque no podamos votar, siempre lo he dicho, mi gente, podemos actuar. He trabajado como voluntaria en la campaña de nuestra vicepresidenta Kamala Harris. Y sería muy triste para mí, muy doloroso, que ella no cumpliera con lo que nos prometió. Sería para mí no creer más en la política, no creer más en la justicia. Y ella todo el tiempo proclamó justicia, dignidad, y es lo que espero en ella, respeto, respeto para nuestra gente. Así que sí se puede, sí se puede. Recuerden, mi gente, que cuando el pueblo se levanta, el gobierno tiembla. Gracias.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Representative Titus and Areli, for your powerful words. We would not have been here without the support of those directly impacted for putting their stories at the forefront all this time. Therefore, I want to give a huge shout out to all the orgs that have participated here. Mingwan Center, Hana Center, ICER, MRNV, MRNY, MRPA, NICE, NYCC, Undocu Black, Churla, and a lot more, but I'm sorry we're short on time, but thank you to everyone that have come here today. Now I would like to welcome Victoria Rivera with NYCC. Please give a warm welcome.
Victoria, are you here? Representative Meng isn't here.
We'll go on to Representative Meng next.
Yeah.
Skip the next
Meng
one.
is Meng here? No, just Representative Jones, Bowman.
You could do
Bowman.
Do you want to do Bowman next?
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Let's do
Yeah,
Bowman
just keep it.
next. Yep. We'll do Bowman next, and then we'll put in Yolisa after.
Yep.
Okay.
You're good?
Yep.
You're good?
Representative Jamal Bowman.
Now please help me welcome Representative Jamal Bowman from New York.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Peace and love to you all. First of all, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for continuing to organize and show your strength. Unfortunately, we have to do this because we, as the U.S. government, continue to kick the can down the road when it comes to the issue of immigration. Let me be very clear. This country will never be a great country until we have comprehensive immigration reform and a pathway to citizenship. We will never be a healthy, thriving democracy until we accept our immigrant friends and family as full citizens of this country. And right now, at this moment, the Senate has an opportunity to get that done. The parliamentarian is not elected. Senators are elected. So they have to do the job to make sure a pathway to citizenship is included in the Build Back Better Act. This is a historic piece of legislation, the largest investment in marginalized people in U.S. history. It includes investments in our children, in climate, in seniors, in education, and in every area except probably the most important one, a pathway to citizenship. And that is the investment, and that is what we need right now as part of this legislation. We've kicked the can down the road long enough. It's time for us to get it done, and I stand here with you as an ally in solidarity to make sure we get this done. Shout out to Make the Road in the House. Let's make the road in the House.
Shout out to NYCC in the house. Where's NYCC at? A little bit? Okay. Shout out to all the groups for being here. Again, thank you so much for being here. And one last point.